Hello, everybody. This is not an ATA Nation podcast. This is not ATA stuff, though I did get finished talking to Chief Master Skiles for a great episode of the ATA Nation podcast. I am going live. You can most easily catch this on YouTube if you would like, and check it out there because we're going to be able to see your comments and stuff there. But I did decide I would put this on my personal page for a while, probably just while we're live, and then we'll delete it. So if you need a want to watch a recording of this, just shoot me a message or I will send it out to you. But I want to go over. I've been introducing some stuff for school martial arts schools. We've got some great martial arts schools using our RetentionOS software, and we are introducing MatSTATS. Now, I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes today on some other stuff as well, with the overall kind of ecosystem that we're building out called MatOS. A lot of CRMs in the martial arts world are fantastic. Okay. Let me tell you one that I'm loving right now. Manage My Dojo. Okay. So let me give a plug to Manage My Dojo real quick because I turned on their sensei. I think he's called Sales Sensei, and turned him on. Had leads come in through my website or through our social media ads. And the Sales Sensei is a very specifically trained AI that will then go and talk to the prospect, and you can program your language, your kind of things in it, your and I put all that in it. The Manage My Dojo people help me through that, and this week 2 leads came in, get responded to right away, and booked appointments. I didn't have to do a thing, and I can even see the conversation in my Manage My Dojo dashboard that the AI had with it, and I can take over anytime. Oh, it was fantastic. So a shout out to Manage My Dojo. If you need a great CRM, go check that out. I am loving Sales Sensei. Really cool. But a lot of these CRMs, okay, don't always do what we might want to start looking at on the floor. And when I talk about this with people, one of the main things I think about personally is that I am growing my staff. I'm growing my ability to influence more lives. And that means that I am not always able to be on the floor. And I still want to be able to monitor everything that's on the floor, because what's on the floor is the product. Okay? And so I want to make sure that I can monitor that. And that's what's going to help the retention of the school. Okay. And so that's why I built Retention OS. And now I'm expanding it out to just MatOS. We're going to cover the martial arts floor. I want to know what's happening on my floor, the instruction level, the interactions with the students, and maybe even some technique stuff with the students as well. Okay. So if you have any questions, stick them in the chat. I'd love to hear. I need to share this into our RetentionOS users group real quick. Let me do that. It's not going to let me. Okay. Hopefully they're tuning in live. If not, I'll put the recording in. So, anyways, RetentionOS is one part of the MatOS ecosystem. And what it really is doing is taking in data throughout your class interactions, attendance, things that are happening on the floor to tell you before you know that somebody's going to maybe quit. Okay. We're taking vibe checks. We're doing praises in class, and it does some things in there automatically that helps keep that retention high, but also is giving you warnings. Hey, this student might have some issues if you're not careful. Okay. And that's super cool. You know what? I just realized this is going to get kicked off of YouTube when it's done because it's got some data that YouTube doesn't like. But I'll get you recording no matter what. So now MatStats is the next level of that. It's taking the data that we are collecting through RetentionOS, and it's giving it into a gamified system. So I don't know how many of you guys out there use Duolingo. I don't, but I know that one of the most powerful parts of Duolingo is the streaks feature. People do not want to lose their streaks. I don't know about you, but people are often motivated as well by the uh, badges that you get on your smartwatch. For each month there's a challenge, maybe, or after you do this many things, you get a badge for this, get a badge for that. And so we are taking those concepts and bringing them to the martial arts. And this is the introductory rollout to MatOS. I've been using at my school, or excuse me, MatSTATS. It's the beginning. We're going to be adding more abilities to it. I got some partners. I'd love to start pulling in some stats that they are keeping from other systems and be able to plug them into MatSTATS. But those are future things to work on. So let me show you kind of what we've got here. I'm going to make this small. This is my actual RetentionOS dashboard for my school, but I'm going to go all the way to my settings, and I'm going to go to MatStats. If you have a RetentionOS account right now, this is live in your account. You might not know about it, but it's live in your account right now. I've turned it on for everyone right now. In the future, it might be an add-on feature, but for anyone who enrolls and starts their RetentionOS um, membership now, it's built in. You're getting all the stuff. Okay? So you can see already, and I just started telling my students about this in the last 2 days, or last 3 days, something like that. We've had 101 views on our school board and 163 views on individual scorecards. So what's that mean? I'm going to take this URL. I'm going to open it up in another tab, and you'll see our school leaderboard. Now, this leaderboard is obviously set up for mobile because that's where most people are going to be seeing it. You're going to see the top streak. All right, right now, Mr. Tracy Hershey has a 14-week streak. Okay, down here you see the school champions. All right, and you can see 14 week, 14 week, 14 week. Oops, I clicked on somebody's. Let's go back. Okay, 14 week, 14 week. Okay, these are the streaks. You can go through your different programs to see who's got a streak, the highest streak in each one. Streaks are super cool. We've really, for Retention OS, one of the things that we've built is a check-in for your students to check in through the system. I know some people do it through their CRM. Um, that's fine. There's ways to use Retention OS without using the check-in screen. But what I'm loving about the check-in screen, the reason that I switched from using my CRM's check-in screen to Retention OS check-in screen is because on Retention OS, when they check in, it shows the streak. That's motivating. Okay. Now, then we got top students, their streaks, and then recent recognitions. These are things that people have been recognized. So Miss Amirani earned a focus tag, an effort tag, a respect tag. You see all the different tags here. Now, the school one is cool, whatever, but it's not the most amazing thing. Each student has their own MatStat page. So I'm going to go to my child's MatStat page, and you're going to see, okay, that student's current streak, 7 weeks, okay, 3 weeks to their 10-week milestone, their ranking. Right. And then I can go, this now is just seeing them at the top, but I can go to their full page. So let's go to my son's full MatStat page. Now, you notice here, okay, it looks a little different. Okay? And this is because we have different themes that students can pick for theirs. Okay? So he's got 27 XP points, all right, till he gets to level 2. Okay, so just gamifying a level. How many classes? 23. His streak is 7 weeks. His best streak is 7. He's got 11 honors. Those are just these kind of things. Okay, so he's earned these seals. Okay, tier 2, okay, of 3 in his streak. He's got a belt promotion in there. These are the different tags that we have set up for my school in Retention OS. And so you can see he's got 3 of 10. When he gets 10, he's going to get a badge. 2 of 10 in this one. Okay. Streaks, 20 of 25 classes that he's got, those kind of things. These. Now, So every kid's got their own link they can go to and check out their MatSTATS. In addition, they can claim their page, they can edit it. Okay, I'm going to put in my son's pin, maybe if I can get it to work. Okay, there we go. My number lock was off. Okay. And here he can change the theme of the page. So he's on purple role player game kind of RPG. There's video game, warrior path, and then the clean modern one was one kind of that the main page was of it. All right. You can add a display name. So I could put a nickname or something else. You can put a little bio. You can have different emojis or put a color as your avatar, or you can even upload a photo, which I got to double check that. There was an issue with the photo. I'm going to remind myself after this video to fix the photo thing because there was an issue in that just the other day when I tried that. Okay. So they can go in and edit their own page. Okay. Or a parent can go in and edit. Let me go back and change the. So let's update this to the Warrior Path one. All right. And save. Boom. So this is the Warrior Path look as well. And then any of these seals I can click on and they can share it right on social media as well. So that's pretty cool. We're gamifying how they are interacting. And so one of the things that we do with this is when Retention OS sends out an email saying, hey, your child got recognized for showing great respect in class today. At the bottom, it'll say, check out his MatSTATS page. If you have MatSTATS turned on, those kind of things. And then it'll have a link that he can go right there. Okay. So we're getting those feedback loops, all right, giving them opportunities to see the page, talk about it. All right. If you've checked out Retention OS already, you'll see how they are getting rewarded in class, how we can see the streaks in class so we can recognize that, we can shout it out, how they're getting feedback as they get some of these things, whether it be in class, talked about Stripe in class, those kind of things. Are going to get an email right after saying congratulations, and those will link to their MatSTATS page as well. If you're going and if you are already on Retention OS, you can go to the MatSTATS settings page and you'll see the just page activity for the last 30 days. Your page here, and this is your school one. You can set up a default for your school. So if you want everybody on your schools to look like the video game because you want to dive into the kind of video game look, you can do that. I just kept my school's my main theme as the default theme as clean and modern, but people can go in and change theirs. If I want to change the look of how the school by wide board, that one I showed you, and the TV displays look, you can do that through here as well. This is how you allow people to claim their page. They have to be able to claim their page. We don't want just anybody to be able to update their information. So I can allow claiming or not, allow them to override the theme so they can have their own custom theme, or just be like, hey, no, you got to stick with our school theme. Um, Allow them to have a custom display name or not. Okay? I like this idea because you could they don't want their name out there and you can have them change it. That's fine. A bio, allow them to upload an avatar, require avatar approval. So this way, like if you want to just double check, make sure they're not putting something there that shouldn't be. And then verification. What happens is when they go to claim it, it's going to send them an email. That email, they got to click and verify that it's them, and then they can claim it. I can also change the way my school board displays names. I've got full names, but you can do just first name and last initial first name in case you want to do it that way. If you need to get a link for a certain child, you can click in here and see that it's claimed, and I can copy the link or I can undo it. All right. So that is if you need to send out individuals. Here you can send bulk invitations to claim their page. So that is like once you've started Retention OS, all my users out there right now, you can send this and just click preview, and it's going to say how many people this is going to send it to, and it'll send it to those students. Boom. You can also it's set up so that once a student takes their first class, it will automatically send them an invitation to claim their MatStats page. Okay, that is just set up in the system if you have MatStats turned on. You don't have MatStats, you don't want MatStats going, that's fine. Okay, and then right now you can add a custom badge. So let's say I want to reward my team competitors. You get a team uncommon 2026 2027 badge. And I can do that, put that there, and it'll create a badge. Okay. Later, we're going to be adding more kinds of badges that people can earn, different ways that you can add that, maybe even challenges like things like the fitness on your watch has monthly challenges to collect those badges, things like that to just continue the gamification. Okay, so um, I personally, I think it's really cool. We've just started students rolling into it. They're claiming their pages. They're checking them out. They want to. The streaks have been a huge hit. As we go, we're just going to be tweaking little things to make sure that they are able to see their stats. Everybody likes, to be able to show where they are, how they rank, those kind of things. And so we want to gamify that. And there's really not much that you need to do. Once you set up your retention OS, you turn on your MatStats, you send out your initial thing. If you uploaded all your students into it, or just students will start going as you go. As they enroll, they'll get their MatStats invitation, and then let me show you one other things that kind of ties to this. We use our TV display option where we can show the leaderboard, recognition feed, today's milestone, school streaks, our rotate. And this just goes on our TV. We've got a TV, we've got announcements we can load down there, and then the preview display. Let's show you this. This is just, oh, it won't show you because we don't have a class going on right now. So it won't show you. But during class, it will show the streaks for the students in the class, when someone gets awarded in the class, those kind of things. Now, I know Manage My Dojo has an amazing new Dojo TV app that is really cool that you can use to program your TVs and stuff. So you might not want to use the TV system we have here. One of the things we're going to build out though here pretty soon is the ability to like weekly download some Google slides that show like last week's recognitions, last week's streaks, and then you can upload those to your Google, or excuse me, to your current TV setup. Maybe it's, just a stick that you have in there, or a really awesome system like Manage My Dojo's um, Dojo Cast TV system. That way you don't have to use the live one that's through Retention OS. You'll be able to go in and just be like, boom, download my latest stats, put them up on my Dojo Cast, and it's set. So we want to be able to make it easy for you to use other systems and use things, because this Retention OS and our whole ecosystem that's going to be MatOS is really outside of the regular CRM. There's some things that have to tie in, but you could do it completely independently, not using any other CRM, and just do this. Right? Would we like to tie into those different CRMs, APIs to get some of the information? Sure. Okay. But we're looking at a very different area of the school than most CRMs. And it's really what is happening on the floor with the instructors. Okay. Let me show you. Let me give you a sneak peek real quick then too. Let me give you a sneak peek. I have some test things that we're working on. So MatStats is live in every Retention OS account right now. If you don't want it, if you want it turned off, let me know. I'll turn it off. Okay. In the future, after we're out of some of the creation phases of this, that will be an add-on. Okay. But if you sign up for Retention OS now, all of the things that I show you right now are going to be built into your system. I'm not going to charge you extra for it. It's going to be right there. So let me show you a couple of things we're working on. We've got some hurdles that we're taking care of, but I want to work on and just show you how this technology is going to work together. So my account, you can see, has some secret things on it right here on the side. I have Instructor Pulse. Instructor Pulse is another dimension of MatOS. So MatOS ecosystem. Inside MatOS, we have Retention OS, which is the on the floor retention guide. It is helping you see who might quit before they do. We've got MatStats, which is the gamification. We've got Instructor Pulse. This isn't out yet. We're testing it. We're playing with it. Uh, I'm doing some things to make it even easier for you to use. But let me show you what's happened in our school. This is an AI powered coach for your instructors. I stick a special recorder on my instructors when they teach a class. Not all classes, just some. It records them. We upload the audio and it analyzes. Right now, we're analyzing on two main things. We're analyzing on class structure and the life skill being taught. Now, in the future, we're going to have your school be able to uh, have your own custom analyzations. So you can go, hey, this is what I want. And even now, in the structure and the life skills, you put in what you're looking for as a school owner. So you can see, let's go to mine right here. I was disappointed in myself. I got a 72. All right. And my average, okay, my evaluation 68. Okay. It detected the life skill that I was teaching, gives me a breakdown on all of these things, the strengths that I had in class, the areas to develop, one specific focus for next class, then class structure. How did I do on each of those? Gives me a little definition, my strengths, my areas of development, one area for next class. This is super cool. Guys, I did this with myself and I read through it and it was a little mean. It was like, hey, you need to make sure that you do. And I was like, you know what? That's a little mean, but you're not wrong. All right. It was great. All right. So I'm really pleased with this. We've got a couple of things I want to do to make it easier for you before we launch this to anybody. My goal is to have you have this special recorder. Now you can do it where you just record on whatever, but I want to make it as easy as possible. Throw on a recorder, press the button. At the end, press the button. It uploads automatically, comes into Retention OS, or excuse me, Matt OS automatically. The instructor pulse takes care of it. It is set up right now. My school, when I do this, it now sends the instructor an email the next day that says, not all of this, it gives them some strengths and it gives them this one improvement focus. I don't want to overwhelm them with areas of development. This is for me as as their instructor, as their coach to help them improve. So instructor pulse, it's coming, it's being built. I'm very pleased with the progress on this one. It'll be out probably next after some other we're just improving things, making sure there's no bugs in the system, stuff like that. And then the one I'm working on that is not ready for prime time in any way is Skills Path. Skills Path is now going, okay, outside of teaching, the quality of my instruction, outside of the quality of my interactions and keeping track of who's coming, making sure they're in class, keeping that retention. So we've got Instructor Pulse, Retention OS, MatStats, the gamification, and that's the kind of the only student facing side of it. Everything else is for you, the instructor and the owner of the school. The last one is Skill Path. Skills Path. This is monitoring the actual uh, technique, the actual quality of the martial arts being taught. Now, I understand that there are going to be schools who aren't going to want to use this. I am literally building it for myself. But if it works and people like it, I'll give you access to it as well. Um, I'm playing with it right now. It's got to be general enough, easy enough to use. The working idea is to give you an overview, not really specific, but an overview of quality trends, things that can be worked on, and then I'm working to also build this into MatStats. So we might be able to have some, oh, you've earned this badge because of this kind of quality. You've earned this badge, or your MatStat says, hey, your ranking on this is here. How can you bring it up? Okay, so it's just some gamification in there. Again, that one's a ways away. Okay? I am literally building it for myself. Um, And if it's something that people are interested in, we'll release it for other people as well. But I'm playing with that. Instructor Pulse, that'll be the next one out. MatStats is here. RetentionOS is here. You should check it out. Go to maretention.com. Let me just go to my dashboard real quick just to show you. Actions needing taken today. Boom. All right there. Okay. Students need attention. Okay. Mine is a mess right now. I'm not going to lie to you. Frozen memberships. This, I thought I updated this. This might have some old code in it because this should have some stuff updated with it, but we'll see. Okay. Anyways, I did, for those of you who have been members for a while, we've updated our calculations for retention. Okay. So before we were doing retention calculations, so this is why you might have seen it change in the last couple of weeks. We were doing our retention calculation based on an actual cohort. So, like, these people enrolled 90 days ago. How many of them are still here in 90 days? So it was actually taking a cohort. We still have that retention stat shown here. You can do this retention cohort, 90 days, 12 months, boom. Okay. But we went to also the more traditional retention number, which is just like beginning of month, end of month. What's your retention? And then you can do quarterly, monthly, and it'll give you the information then too. Again, mine's a mess. Mine is actually a little better than this. It's not where I want it to be. Don't get me wrong. But it is better than this. But I've got a lot of weird data in mind because it's been around since the beginning and testing and stuff like that. So let me go back to this. Okay. So this is Retention OS and MatStats, part of our whole MatOS operating system. We're not doing what your CRM is doing. I love what my CRM does. My CRM is amazing at billing, all right, at communications, at special event registrations, the selling merchandise, all those kind of things. But most CRMs are not built for what's happening on the floor. I want my instructors on the floor to be uh, doing the job amazingly. And I want to be able to monitor that even when I'm not at the school. And so I've built Matt OS, these different areas to do that on the floor. I can have um, my students or my instructors log these things on the iPad quick as they're going throughout class and be able to keep that retention high, gamify some of it, and give us the warning signs. You, as a longtime instructor, okay, if you're a longtime instructor, you will know the kid who is like, you can look at a kid and go, that kid in 2 weeks, he's going to call and he's going to try to quit. And you'll know I need to do some stuff about that. Your younger instructor, your newer staff member is not as good at that. And even us who are good at that, that might have been the first class of the night. And then 4 classes later, you forgot. You're like, what was I supposed to do? That isn't logged somewhere. That's what we're doing, logging that kind of information on the floor. Then Instructor Pulse, training my instructors, giving them actual feedback AI. This is fantastic. I love it. Okay. MatStats is using the gamification. Okay. All the top apps, all the things are doing this to get that viral loop, to be able to get that dopamine hit with those rewards. That's what we're building in as well. The MatStats is the public facing view of all of what happens on the floor. All right. Obviously, I'm still doing stars in my class. I'm still doing those kind of things. This is just adding a little more something on top. Okay. So if you're interested, reach out, go start a trial on maretention.com. If you need me to lead you through setting it up, reach out. I will go with you, help you set it up, upload the things, all those kind of stuff. So let me know if you have questions. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure, guys, that what happens on the mat, okay, that's the product. That's where we have to make sure that we're doing our very best. And if we're not using great technology to improve that, okay, the resources are there. Okay? I just saw, I don't know how many of you guys know Grow Pro, Chris Rodriguez, amazing. Um, organization she's got there, great business. What they roll out? An awesome AI tool to help train your staff on those interactions with sales, right? Sales calls, those kind of things. A lot of that exists. What about the floor? Okay. So much we can be doing here. Check it out. Retention or maretention.com is where it all sits now. Soon ish, we'll be moving over to a different site to get the whole ecosystem, not just Retention OS in there. So let me know if you have questions. Thanks for tuning in. Later.